Imagine a creature with eyes located directly on its spines and teeth capable of chewing through solid granite cliffs. A creature that breathes through its own feet and whose intimate life controls the phases of the moon. But here is the most insane part. Sea urchins practically do not age. Biologists have discovered that a century-old urchin possesses the exact same perfect health, immunity, and reproductive capacity as a young 3-year-old adolescent. They are functionally immortal when it comes to old age. Today, we are going to dismantle the anatomy of these underwater aliens piece by piece and find out how their hidden army can turn a thriving oceanic oasis into an absolute barren wasteland in just a couple of months.
Anyone who has ever vacationed on rocky ocean beaches knows the golden safety rule. Watch your step, or you'll step on an urchin. For most of us, a sea urchin is just an annoying inconvenience, a spiky little ball that ruins a vacation and forces us to buy specialized water shoes. We view them merely as a passive threat. But what if I told you that these living minds are actually some of the strangest, most voracious, and anatomically sophisticated creatures on the planet? If you strip a sea urchin of its spines, underneath you will find a monolithic shell made of calcium carbonate, resembling a rigid cage. The entire body of this creature is a non-stop anatomical paradox. Let's start with how they eat. An urchin's mouth is located at the bottom of its body, and inside hides a unique organ that scientists call Aristotle's lantern. It is a highly complex engineering structure consisting of 40 bones and 5 sharp, self-sharpening teeth driven by powerful muscles. These teeth are so incredibly strong that the urchin doesn't just scrape away algae. It literally bites into solid granite and basalt, carving out deep burrows to shelter itself so it won't be swept away by storms. Engineers are still studying the structure of sea urchin teeth to design next-generation drilling tools.
The urchin moves using those same spines, acting as stilts, as well as hundreds of tiny, elastic, hydraulically powered tube feet. These same feet double as its gills, capturing oxygen directly from the water. But the most mind-blowing fact is their vision. Sea urchins do not have eyes on their heads. In fact, they don't have a head at all. Instead, they see with their entire body. Scientists discovered that photoreceptor cells are located at the base of their spines. When light hits the shell, the spines act like window blinds, focusing the light onto the receptors. Essentially, a sea urchin is just one giant, round, compound eye. One of the most incredible and lesser-known facts about sea urchins is their habit of upcycling and wearing hats. Aquarium owners and divers frequently notice that sea urchins love to carry various bits of debris on top of themselves. Pieces of shells, algae, small pebbles, and in captivity, even lost coins, plastic bottle caps, or tiny custom hats printed on 3D printers by caring aquarists. They achieve this by using their elastic, suction-tipped tube feet. But why do they do it? Scientists have identified 3 primary reasons. Sun protection. Just like humans, sea urchins are sensitive to excessive ultraviolet radiation. A hat made from a shell acts as the perfect sun umbrella. Camouflage. A spiky ball sitting exposed on the seafloor easily attracts predators, but a pile of old kelp and stones looks completely unappetizing. Ballast. Urchins are relatively light, so during strong tides or rough storms, carrying a heavy rock on their head serves as an anchor, helping them stay grounded and preventing them from being swept away by the current. So, as it turns out, sea urchins aren't just living minds. They are also the ultimate fashionistas and eco-designers of the ocean floor. Most urchins are vegetarians. Their favorite delicacy is kelp. In a balanced ecosystem, urchin populations are kept in check by their primary predators, sea otters, large fish, and starfish. However, the moment this balance is disrupted, for example, due to humans over-harvesting sea otters, a true ecological apocalypse begins. Biologists call this phenomenon
urchin barons.
Armies numbering in the millions of spiky spheres emerge from their burrows and begin a relentless march across the seafloor. They don't eat the entire kelp plant, they simply chew through it at the base. The massive plant dies and drifts away into the ocean, while the urchins move on. In a matter of months, they can transform luxurious underwater forests, which harbor thousands of fish species, into an utterly naked, lifeless desert. And defending against them is no easy task. Most species are armed with pedicellariae, tiny biting pinchers scattered between their spines. In some species, like the fire urchin, these pinchers and the tips of the spines are loaded with a highly potent toxin. For humans, an encounter results in agonizing pain, muscle paralysis, and anaphylactic shock. Marine animals actively avoid them, knowing this mine can detonate with venom.
Yet, perhaps the most unbelievable property of sea urchins, one that is currently electrifying the minds of gerontologists worldwide, is their negligible senescence. Red sea urchins can live for more than 200 years. What is truly astonishing is that, unlike humans, they show absolutely no signs of frailty. Their DNA does not degrade, their regeneration does not slow down, and their reproductive system works just as efficiently at 150 years old as it did in their youth. They can die from a predator's teeth, a disease, or a fishing net, but they do not die of old age. Scientists hope that cracking the genetic code of urchins might hold the key to extending human life.
And how do they reproduce? They don't engage in mating rituals. Instead, they utilize literal lunar magic. Many species of sea urchins synchronize their spawning with the phases of the moon, usually during a full moon or a new moon. At the exact same hour, millions of urchins along the entire coastline simultaneously release billions of eggs and sperm into the water. The ocean literally turns into a reproductive soup. This synchronization is crucial so that predators physically don't have enough time to devour all the offspring, ensuring that at least a small fraction of the larvae, which initially look nothing like urchins and drift in the water column, survive. Despite all their danger and nightmarish anatomy, sea urchins do have one vulnerable trait. They are incredibly delicious. More specifically, their gonads, famously known in Japan as uni. It is one of the most expensive delicacies in the world, rich in amino acids and the exact nutrients that people believe prolong youth. Thus, the cycle closes. The dominant species of the planet consumes the very creature that cracked the code to immortality. Sea urchins are a perfect example of how nature can hide absolute superpowers behind the most primitive and unremarkable forms. What fact about sea urchins shocked you the most? Would you ever dare to try their roe? Let us know in the comments. Hit the like button on this video and make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss the next astonishing mysteries of our planet. See you next time.